Time for Mr. Truck, reviewing the latest innovations for your truck and trailer.
Mr. Truck here with another review. It's a big SUV. It's a Toyota Sequoia. This thing's got 7 seats in. It's got the captain's chairs, which I love. And I'm here with Morgan Hall. She's a big salesperson here at Transwest. She sells horse trailers and horse trailers and horse trailers. So, in this 5.7 V8, what's the power?
We're sitting at 381 horsepower and then 401 foot-pounds of torque.
Cool, and it's a 6-speed, so it's old school and part of it. We're going to tow the Cimarron trailer, and Morgan will tell you all about that. Come join us.
Alrighty, we're going to check out the back 2 rows in this vehicle. So, in here, it's pretty neat. This seat, it's got a few different options on it. So you can go up, and I'll get in here and show you guys how it reclines too. But you can push it up, and that'll push that forward. And then you have a lot of space right there.
Yeah, that's really good. You can climb back there. I like that.
Yep, so you can climb back there. You don't got to climb over top the seat and into that middle aisle if you didn't want to. There's also this neat little feature that when this seat's pushed back all the way, that'll cover that floor space right there.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not having to have the floor in the way.
What we should do is so many bales of hay we can put in there.
I don't think they'd be too happy with the carpet and the hay. Yeah. So then, it's got a lever right up here. You pull this lever, and that's going to push that all the way down.
Oh, yeah.
So you can store that down as well.
Yeah, then you can hook that up to the back seats, too.
Yep, so then...
Very versatile. It's kind of like one of those, what are those things called? Those monster cars that turn into robots?
Yeah, the Transformers.
Transformers.
Yeah, transforming seat. Cool. Definitely. So I'll hop in here real quick and just kind of show you guys the space. From previous video I've done, I'm 5'9", so I got some long legs, and I've got plenty of space in here. I don't feel cramped at all, like headspace even, got some headspace. And then, here's what I meant by recline.
Oh, far out, man. You can watch football in here.
Or take a nap,
you know. Yeah, that is too cool.
Yeah. Whoa, so, be careful coming up. Yeah, so then I'm going to get in the back seat and show you guys a few options back there. So, back here in the back seat,
oh yeah,
it's got these nifty buttons right here. So this actually will recline me.
Man, we got 2 rows of reclining seats.
Yeah.
3 rows of reclining
This is like
seats.
the ultimate road trip car.
Oh wow.
Because those recline, that one on that side reclines, and then they also, let's see here, it's pushing me forward.
Oh, cool.
So it probably doesn't like that I'm sitting on it while I'm doing that. All right, so we're going to show you guys a couple more of these buttons. So I'm just holding this button down right now. That seat's doing everything by itself. I'm not even...
Oh yeah,
look at that,
cool.
flush.
That is so awesome. And both of them do
Lots
that.
of space,
It's far
yeah.
out.
And you can also control them from the back. So if you needed to get these seats down from the trunk, there's controls right there, left and right, where you can do that too. And I don't know if you guys noticed, when that seat came down, the entire seat moves. So this part right here is coming down with the seat, giving you more flush of a space when it comes down all the way. And then coming back up, it's sitting level right now. So with having that go down with it, your seat's gonna sit level. And then coming back up, we'll see here real quick. Watch how this bottom, where you sit, comes up with the seat. So I know a lot of the older model vehicles, you'd be sitting there and your legs would go numb because you'd have your knees sitting up so high that, I mean, how I'm sitting right now, how I have no support underneath my legs. But when you're sitting on that seat, you're gonna have way more support. And you'll notice, so having that seat forward, how wide this alleyway is, me coming out. I'm not a tiny person, if you hadn't noticed.
Well,
and that was a lot of space for me to get out of there.
Yeah, that's awesome. So show me about this back hatch. It looks big.
Yeah, so this back hatch is big. Cool thing about this, so you've got 2 buttons right here. One says lock, one says unlock. So you can physically lock and unlock your vehicle from back here, as well as, let's see, rolling down the back window.
Cool, like the old station wagons in the 60s.
I don't know what you're talking about. So that's nice if you don't want to open the full trunk. And then to roll it back up, you just hold this and it'll roll back up. I like that about Toyotas. I like that back window, how that rolls up and down. That's a nice feature.
So they used to be, and then they all changed it. I mean, how big is the hatch?
How big is the hatch? So we'll open this up. Here we go. So it's automatic. Just push me. So it's the hatch right here. So I'll show you. Let's see. You got some storage compartments down here.
Yeah, so we put your rags.
Yeah. Get your rags in there. Let's see. Put that back on. And here's those buttons I was telling you guys about. So both of these will push down, or you can push them down, and that puts the seats down. So instead of having to climb through and sit in that back, you can do it that way.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Cup holders and all kinds of stuff.
Cup holders, cubbies.
Cubbies.
You know,
made for a family.
Yep, you got those kids. I know I used to be one in the minivan sticking stuff down there that I didn't want to deal with. Garbage. So keep track of your kids.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So plenty of space in here. And then let's see. So this one. Okay. And then got a button right here that should, let's see, we should be able to shut it. There we go. Just hold it down for a sec and it'll shut itself. So that's nice. You're not having to pull that down if you got your hands full of groceries. You're not having to yank it. Morgan Knoll here with Transwest Truck Trailer RV. Just going to go over this it's Cimarron horse trailer real quick. So this is going to be your all aluminum trailer. Really nice trailers to pull around. You've got the strongest flooring on the market right now. But we'll just take a brief little look over of it. And if you guys have any questions, you can shoot me a message or give me a call and I can answer them for you. So we do have the escape door with the drop downs on the head side. And this trailer is actually sitting extra tall, extra wide. So it's going to be for the bigger horses. You got a 6-foot hay rack up above. And then you do have the easy angle ladder, or this actually pops up and comes out at an angle so you can climb up at an angle instead of straight up. So this trailer's got a stud stall in the first stall, and then it's got the roof vents. Cimarron has a nice 1/2-inch insulated honeycomb roof. That's going to be an R3 thermal value, so that's going to be nice, keeping the heat and temperature regulated on the inside. It's also got drop-down windows on the hip side, so you're getting maximum airflow going through this trailer going down the road. If you got all the windows open, you got the roof vents that go forward and back. It's a nice trailer. The nice thing about the Cimarron, we upgraded to the fold-out step, so that's going to give you some more room. You're not having to step up as high, and you have a bigger step. So it's a 42-inch man door with your swing-out blanket pull. And then you also have your swing out saddle rack. So this, on that shock, it's going to be really nice when you're not wanting to hop up in there to put saddles in. And then it's nice because the 42-inch door leaves you extra space to get up in the tack room when you've got the saddle rack swung out. Plenty of bridle hooks, and you got your water tank back in the corner right there. Carpeted partition wall to help with the when your bridles are swinging and swaying, you're not going to scratch up the aluminum sheet. It's really nice trailers. Yeah. Yep, so quality built. If you want to buy this trailer or look at any other options that we have, you can give me a call. My direct line's 303-684-3451. Or you can email me at Morgan, MORGAN, .Knoll, KNOLL, @transwest.com. So give me a call and I can help you out.
If you have a short bed truck, you know it's not easy to hook up to a gooseneck. Pop-Up came out with these extensions from 9 inches to 16 inches to keep you from breaking out your back window when you're pulling a gooseneck trailer. And everybody uses a short bed. That's the most proper truck there is a crew cab short bed. So, protect that window. Of course, the wind's blowing. We're in this same dash layout as a Tundra. Easy to read gauges, and you've got a few things you can go through. All the modes, and there's, of course, cruise controls, that little lever on the right side down below. It's got automatic headlights. Buttons there for your mirror, for the door light, and that rear hatch. Synthesize JBL sound everywhere. Of course, tilt and telescope. And then all these big knobs. I like big knobs for my big hands. And of course, jump up to the radio, you got little baby knobs. And that's a 7-inch screen, and you got all the toys in there you want. And this actually has a knob for the fan, which I like. That Land Cruiser didn't. You had to go into the screen to do that. And of course, 4-wheel drive knob. And your push button start, and down below you got that auto rear window that goes down from up here, and lane departure, and then your park sensors. But yes, indeed, and you've got in the steering wheel, you've got lane departure, and then the part that warns you when you're about to hit something. Below the center stack is all those USB ports and the 12 volts and all that. Yes, and over here it does have tow haul mode, which is interesting because it doesn't have the A-track or the ECT that I can find a button for. And then there's where you lock your center differential, what we used to call transfer cases. And that puts it in 4-wheel drive, locks them in. Otherwise, you know, you got the right rear and the left front one spinning, and you lock them and it goes 50-50, but you can't lock the differentials, just the transfer case, the center differential they call it. But yes, indeed, it's a well-appointed vehicle. It just looks old is all. But looking old is part of it. And of course, you know, these are the small moonroofs. I suppose the next generation will have those giant moonroofs like everybody else has already gone to. Plenty of grab handles all the way around, in case you need help getting in and out like an old man like me. Grab handles on the back. Yes. I mean, it's well appointed. It's not like super plain. It's time for an update, and that's what everybody's been saying. So I'm not going to keep beating that, because you know, people like the reliability. They like these Toyotas, and they'll keep buying them. And I'm sure when sales start dropping, they get way below their competition, we'll have a new model. That's kind of how that works. But yes, indeed, it's a comfortable vehicle. It's a good family vehicle. You can haul seven adults actually comfortable, where they've designed the back seat where it reclines, and it's got good thigh support, surprisingly good for third row. Usually those are made for the little ones, the child seats, and those preschoolers. But anyway, this is something you could take anybody you want to for a long trip and be comfortable. Of course, what would a trip be to Estes without elk? There is 3 does hanging out by the runoff river. It's pretty cool. Look at those elk. Yo, does hanging out by the water, right next to a dog park. I mean, they're pretty tame. They have no fear whatsoever. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you always can catch the elk. Of course, the wind's blowing. She's perking up. She hears the dogs. Of course, they've been coming right up to the fence. So yeah, right there's the dog fence, and people come out here and walk their dogs. And the elk are used to them. Yeah, as long as you're not a grizzly, they're not going to get too upset. Awesome. Well, here we go. Sequoia Toyota. Running up the mountains with this 3-horse Cimarron aluminum trailer. Again, get some mountain scenery in here. So we're still doing social distancing. So it is me by myself in the Sequoia. This is a TRD Pro. It's got the piggyback shocks up front, and a lot of the TRD badging and TRD wheels, TRD skid plate. And yeah, it's getting me a big thing. They even have a Camry TRD. Now, you know, this is a nice package. It's not for serious off-roading like the Tacoma or the 4Runner is, but it's, you know, it's the same engine. It's in the Tundra. I think it's ready to tow 7,100 pounds. Can't look at my notes too long, but yeah, that's what it is, 7,100 pounds. I think we're towing about 5,000 pounds. I gotta weigh that trailer yet. But it's empty, and we're just taking in the scenery. The river's running. Awesome, look at the white caps, man. You got white water rafting, but they're not rafting yet. But anyway, I think it's the last day of April, so we're seeing what's going to happen. I think a lot of Colorado gets unlocked tomorrow, so we'll see a lot more traffic. I'm going to take the grandkids up to the mountains, let them ride in this, since we got seats for 7. Big captain's chairs in the middle row, and they all recline. So I'll take 3 grandkids up here, let them give them some fresh air. They've been cooped up in their apartment for 2 months, and they need some more exercise. But anyway, but yeah, this Sequoia, I mean, it is what it is. It's basically a full-size SUV, so it's a big family wagon, and it's capable enough to do a little bit off-roading, nothing serious. But you can go up the Rockies and find some easy trails and have a good time with it, and then drive it every day, take it to church, do all those things. This is like a silver color. I'll read off to you in a little bit here. I get a chance to look at all the features. But it's got some soup to it. It's not a dog by any means. It's not great fuel mileage. It has 17 on the highway, but it's a big beast, I think that beats the Land Cruiser by just a hair. But yeah, these were created before, the fuel crisis and all that, and they've been around for quite a while. So it's not the new model. They'll have one of those coming up shortly, because I think they're going to do the Tundra first, and probably this will be refreshed right after that. But we're not hauling any horses. We're doing social distancing with the horses, keeping them back in the corrals. But it's beautiful up here in Rockies, and I love coming up here and reviewing trucks and looking at the scenery. And hopefully this virus thing will be over pretty soon, and start taking my country girls with me, Kelsey and Morgan, up here riding in the mountains. So that'll be our next goal, and so you can get somebody else's view besides mine on these vehicles. It's always nice to have a woman's perspective on what they think of it, if they like the power and the handling, and this handles really well. I mean, this is 4-wheel independent suspension, which is pretty common now on the big SUVs. And I'm pretty sure this is body on frame. This shares a lot of components with the Tundra, but the Tundra has a solid axle on the rear. This has independent all the way around, which always helps a little bit with the ride. We'll see how long it takes for the trucks to do that. I know the Honda Ridgeline has that, and I think that's the next truck I'm going to review. No, actually, I got the Rebel coming next, and then the Honda Ridgeline. So we're trying to get quite a variety here to drive and review and let you guys think about them and see them. We always tow trailers with them, because that's the thing, man. It's not easy for the average person to go grab a new vehicle and put a trailer on, but it's easy for me to do. I got 4 test trailers plus all those Cimarron trailers from Transwest. So I got plenty of test trailers to get all this done with. And that's where we got this 3-horse Cimarron, was Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, and that's where Morgan works. But it's beautiful rocks. I love the rock formations up here. I just get a kick out of looking at rock. I mean, I love the trees and all the wildlife. And where I'm moved to has got a lot of wildlife too, so it's good to be in Colorado. Lots to see. But a little cloudy up here, so you're going to have a little bit of streaks in the video, because it's sunny and it's cloudy. We're going through all these little switchbacks here on the Highway 36 to Estes. And lots of curves. This handles really well. I think it's got anti-sway bar both front and rear, as I recall. The piggyback shocks on the Fox shocks in the front, or Fox on the rear. But it handles very well. It stays nice and level. This is a fun unit to drive. But I mean, you don't really want to go over 7,100 pounds. That's the maximum capacity, and that's what it is, being a 4-wheel drive and all. And that's where this handles fine. I don't have enough weight now that I don't have weight distributing hitch on here, so it's not necessary yet. This does really well. A lot of times an independent rear suspension will give you more sway on the back, and this isn't doing that. It's doing really well. I mean, it used to be, it worried me about
independent rear suspensions when Expedition went to it and Explorer, and they handle a little more like an Elvis pelvis. And now they've all got their spring rates right and their tires, so the rear independent suspension SUVs now handle dramatically better than they did when they first came out, and this handles fantastic. So I don't worry about Elvis pelvis right now. I'm just kicking it on these switchbacks, taking a lot of these curves nice and flat, which is what you want. You don't want to be leaning and getting scared and getting nervous, because there's rocks all over there and there's cliffs on the other side. So you want the stability you get from a well-handling machine. And man, it's like all these big SUVs. You can haul 7, you can haul 8 if this had the bench in the middle row, but it's all 3 rows of these seats reclined, so everybody can take a nap. Except maybe the driver, he probably should stay awake. But very comfortable cruiser for going on vacation, or just taking those weekends to have some fun in the Rockies. You hear that thing rumbling? That's that V8. It says a TRD exhaust. It doesn't have the dual exhaust like the Tundra TRD Pro does. But yeah, it's it just kind of looks old on the inside, but it has all the knobs. We'll go over all that stuff. The big knobs that I like, and the gated shifter. It's a 6-speed, so we all talk about it being dated like the Tundra is, kind of like a Nissan Frontier. All those vehicles haven't changed such a long time, and that's typically how management in Japan works. They keep something for a long time. And it used to be how the car companies here were like Lincoln Town Car. It used to last like 10 years a season when they would change it, and then they started changing it sooner. But nothing wrong with having a vehicle for a while when it's been dependable and the sales are okay. So they put a lot of money in tooling that first year of a vehicle. We have to rebuild the factory, do all those things, and get all the robots redone and making all these new parts. That takes millions of dollars. And it takes a few years to pay for all that tooling and all that expense of a new vehicle, a new startup, a new whole new series. So the longer you can keep them running, the better your payout is, and it's economics for anybody. For you and I, are working for a living, we've got to make sure we pay our bills. Same way with truck manufacturers; they've got to pay out all these expenses. So that's why these vehicles stay around a long time. And so as soon as it starts hurting sales, that's when you have to consider getting something new, because it's a very competitive world. The SUVs, that's General Motors came out with a whole bunch of new ones, and Ford's Expedition's not that old. So you got a lot of competition in the class that Sequoia is in. But yeah, it's fun to drive in the mountains. It's got a moonroof. It's got a sliding rear window. You can get some fresh air in from both directions. And it's that'd be cool. If you want to cool off without running air conditioner, you open the moonroof, open up that rear window, and make sure the kids don't jump out, and keep on cruising down the road. Oh, there's my cherry cider place. I love cherry cider up here in the Rockies. I always stop by and get a bottle of that. But I know the mountain cities up here, they've been kind of doing press releases on keep telling everybody to stay home, because they don't want the virus taking over their little towns and their little hospitals. It would be bad. So I can't blame them. So we don't, we go through towns, we drive through them, take video, but we don't stop and anything like that. That would not be good, because we're trying to respect the other people that live up here and keeping them healthy. So we're all trying to do it. When I go anywhere, I wear a mask, gloves, the whole works. And if I had somebody in the truck, I'd have all that stuff on now. I'll have it on when I'm near my grandchildren. Yeah, this thing handles awesome. Like it's on rails. Take these corners and just fly around them. And nothing leans. It's just good. That's what you want. You want a vehicle that does not lean. 45 miles an hour. I can't drive. Oh, yes, I will. I will drive 45 miles an hour. A lot of flashing sign. I know they start doing construction up here. Rebuild all these highways so the traffic gets really crazy. Oh, I love these rocks. So many of these passes up here in the mountains, and it's got beautiful rock formations where they had to trim them down to get the highway through here. See all the different colors of granite. Yes, indeed. And hopefully these reviews, you'll have all the seasons that go on up here. You know, in the fall, the beautiful aspens and the quakies are turning. And in the spring, you have all the new buds and all the greenery. And the white water in the rivers. About every one of these canyons has some kind of a river. And 5 rivers start here in Colorado. So we are big on water here. Supplying the nation. I mean, the Rio Grande goes through Texas. And that's the southern border of Texas. The Colorado goes into California and ends up somewhere in Baja, Mexico. We got the Arkansas. Like all that stuff joins into the Missouri and the Mississippi. We got North and South Platte. And they separate in Colorado and then they come together in Nebraska. I think by North Platte. So you got mountains, you got snowpack, you got rivers. We're blessed with 5 rivers here in Colorado. And it gives us all these cool rocks to stare at. I love the mountains. I was born and raised in Colorado, and I am so tickled to be here doing truck reviews and showing you folks the scenery that I drive through every week. And then we jump on our ATVs and our side-by-sides, and we go through all these trails up here. Great place if you're into outdoors and sports and rocks and climbing and trail riding and all that. And it's great for off-road vehicles. And the TRD PRO packages that's on all those vehicles from Toyota, from the Tundra, the 4Runner, the Tacoma, and this Sequoia. It's a good place to see off-road trucks. It's Colorado. There's elk down below. I'll get some pictures of them. There's always elk here in the winter. They hang out on the golf course. They hang out everywhere at night. You got to drive around them because they'll be in the middle of the highway pooping. But they're magnificent animals. Always like watching them. But this Sequoia, go over some of the facts. This puppy has an MSRP of $67,029. So it's not cheap. MPG rating on a highway is 17 miles to the gallon, 14 combined, 13 in the city. And let's see. Of course, this is the TRD. It's got the tuned frog shocks, those piggybacks in the front. It's got those rigid LED fog lights, 18-inch TRD PRO wheels. It's got those really cool running boards. Actually, they look solid. They sound like they're metal and covered with some kind of a bed liner kind of thing. And so they're actually pretty decent for off-road for running boards. Most people don't like running boards off-road. I do, and these are tucked up tight, so I think these will work. And it's big old 5.7 V8. And Morgan talked about horsepower and torque, multi-mode 4-wheel drive with that torsion center locking diff, they call that. We used to call them transfer cases. And I know the torsion is made a little different, but you still don't have lockers front or rear. So, and this is all set up for towing. It's got the uphill downhill shift logic, the ECT on the transmission. I didn't even see a button to push for that, but yeah, this is good. Blind spot monitoring, that's the big thing. This has got the dynamic radar cruise control, which is the adaptive cruise control, which I really like. Locks onto whatever's in front of you. But yeah, that's the rear backup camera, a lot of blind spot cameras, the power lift gate, all that, trailer sway control. It's got 8 airbags. Holy cow, 8 airbags. That's a lot of airbags. Of course, LED headlights and all that, and automatic headlights. It says 7-inch screen. Well, that's about what it is. JBL sound, which is really good. It's got 14 speakers, subwoofers, amplifiers, all that. And of course, got the 2 USB ports up front. 3-zone climate control. Yes, it's right in the front. They have you can turn off or on the back, guys. I imagine they've got buttons here in the back too. Lots of cool stuff on these. I love these captain's chairs. You have so much room back there. And even the third row, you saw Morgan sitting back there. You can recline all 3 rows, and there's room for the third row for adults. And I love that the seat goes up and down when you're folding it, so it goes back up, so you got some thigh support even in the third row, which is really good. But man, 10-way power adjust driver seat, 6-way on the other side. Cargo cover. I didn't see a cargo cover in this one. It's got the TRD Performance exhaust, which is 1050. This one I don't think is as loud as the Tundra. The Tundra's got a dual exhaust, which is really cool. This has a single exhaust, unless I'm blind, but no, I just saw the one exhaust. And your payload's up to 1,315. So you figure you're going to lose over 700 pounds in payload going to your tongue with your trailer if you're maxing it out. So you've used up over half of the payload there, which is normal. It's got a 26-gallon tank, which is respectable. I mean, this thing doesn't get the greatest fuel mileage. It'd be nice to see it have like a 32-gallon tank, but oh well. Same engine at 5.7s in a Tundra, maybe the same ones in a Land Cruiser. They're all 5.7s. It's a 6-speed. That's the only thing that really dates this vehicle. Of course, it looks old on the inside compared to the newer ones, but a 6-speed. I sure hope soon they come out with an 8-speed, 9-speed, 10-speed, something. A 6-speed, you know, what my grandfather used to use a long time ago. And the independent suspension, I like that. They call it performance exhaust, but, you know, it's just not quite as loud as the other one. I think it's got a 430 rear end. I couldn't find it. I looked and looked and looked, and everybody's hiding that. But that's, you know, what the Tundra has. So I'm betting the Sequoia with the same, you know, setup as the 430, because it has plenty of get up and go right off the line. Black badging everywhere. It's that monochromatic look where it's all the same color as the truck, and it's metallic gray and a black interior with the red striping. I like that. And the TRD Pro on the headrests. But skid plate always looks cool on this. It's a TRD Pro in red, and it's aluminum skid plate. It's got a real nice roof rack. It's big. When you got something this long, it's big. I don't know what it's rated at. Most of those roof racks only go up to like 100, 140 pounds, because this one's spread out longer. It may go up a little higher than that. But another one of those things that's hard to find. Looks like it's body on frame, and I weighed the truck, and it weighed 6340.